Do you feel that being a Libra has helped you as an analyst?
It probably helps me stay out of trouble in some ways. If I did blurt out the first thing that comes to my mind, I may not still be
Yeah.
working in the business. I think it's been helpful. I think it helps me try to keep the balance. Try to keep the balance.
Namaste. What's up, guys? Amanda Smith here with play-by-play announcer and analyst Krista Blunk. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So you have this crazy extensive list of experience, but we met through your work with Pac-12 Networks. And for each game or event, there's all these different roles, right? Like you could be a host, a reporter, work in production. For you, how did you decide I want to call games?
Yeah, crazy is a good word because it is crazy. And as you know, working in this business, it's crazy, but I like to call it crazy fun. I kind of got lured into it, and it just ended up sticking. But I was playing basketball in college. I wasn't certain what I wanted to do exactly. Kind of thought I would go the coaching route. Wasn't completely certain. And then the voice of our men's team at the time just kept bugging me about, you should go into communications, you should come call some games with me, you should get involved with this. So he sort of talked me into it, and then I guess the rest is history. But I ended up declaring my major, communications, and there we go. Radio, TV, interning, production, you name it, and just anywhere I could kind of get in and see what I liked and what I didn't like. And here I am. Still, it's still kind of shocking, I have to tell you.
Here you are.
Here I am.
You had told me this great story, and I was hoping that maybe you could share about someone that you had worked with that was like, I'm not coming back on the call, Krista. You take it.
Yes. That mentor of mine, I tell you, the one that threw me into soccer and you name it. Yeah, we were on a road trip for soccer, and we were at IU actually. It's interesting, the things, Amanda, that will not stay in my brain, but I can remember some of these things. But fond memories, I guess. But we were at IU. We're at the halftime break. I'm the analyst. He's the play-by-play, and he just kind of pokes his head into the press box and says, you're going to do play-by-play this half, and I'm not putting the headset on. And, I mean, I really wanted to run out of the press box, but we're getting ready to go on the air, and he refused. I didn't even know where he went, but somebody had to go on the air. So he forced me to put that headset back on and get back on the air and actually do my first play-by-play announcing for some soccer. And scariest thing probably for me, especially at that time, but probably the best thing, to really step outside that comfort. It's so easy to just say, oh, I'm good here. This is fine. But as you know, and as we see with this business, just with the internet alone changing this business, you got to step outside of your comfort zone sometimes. I mean, you have to do it within reason. Let's not be too crazy. But, I do think that making changes with this biz, and just, the fact that I try to be on Twitter is just a miracle in itself, right? So, just being able to step outside. But he really forced that upon me, and I'll never forget it. I mean, I will never forget that moment, and that was a long time ago. So
That's a good story. And for, maybe young broadcasters watching this, how important do you think it is to have someone that maybe sees the potential in you that you don't, that pushes you outside of that comfort zone?
Especially for me, and I can't imagine that it's not the same now, but it was crucial for what I'm doing right now. I didn't even think about the fact that I could be doing this. At the time, you're in college, I'm playing ball. I'm not even at that point thinking maybe I'll play ball after. At that point, you're really thinking, I better get a resume put together. What am I doing? Where's my life going? But then I kind of started to realize this is a way to stay involved with sports and keep going. And I think he understood that. And luckily he understood that. He had worked at very high levels and was kind of semi-retired back, just settling into a small town. And, he understood that, hey, if I go to the communications department and the head of this, and I can get some student athletes and kids involved in this, he understood where this could go. And it changed my life. It was really, again, the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. He's also the reason that I made the next move. He passed away at a kind of an early early time in our career, we were working together, and it was a time where I was back from playing overseas and kind of spinning my wheels and trying to decide what to do. And it was because of that I made a move to the West Coast. And, growing up in a small town and just, it was easy. It was easy to just stay there and keep doing what I was doing. And if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't have probably taken a chance to move. And that move changed my life also. So I owe him so much. There's no doubt about it. So very, very important, I guess, is my answer, my long-winded answer.
I love it. I feel like inspired right now. I'm like, I gotta go do something.
I'm so glad. I have to tell you, I still feel that way in this business. One of my good friends in the business, I hadn't talked with him in a while. And we actually connected yesterday on the phone, and his last question to me was, "Do you still love what you're doing?" And it's like, yeah, I can't imagine not. I can't imagine sitting and doing something that I don't want to do. As crazy as it can be at times. I'm still working in this crazy business, that it is just crazy fun. I have to call it, it's crazy fun.
Okay, so we're gonna play a quick, just 3-question this or that.
All right,
it's gonna be fast. Let's see what Krista likes out of basketball.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm a Libra, so I like to weigh everything out. These things, sometimes I'll be as quick as I can.
Okay, see, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm just all like, first thing off my head.
No, I'm gonna try. These are the things I work on. I've been working on for a long time.
My astrological sister. I love it. So, 3-ball or points in the paint?
Oh, 3-ball.
Lots of calls or let them play?
Let them play. Buzzer
beater or overtime?
Oh, buzzer beater.
And we already know that you love the underdog.
I do love the underdog. I kind of grew up growing up in Indiana, I was a huge IU fan, so I can't say that they were really an underdog many times. But I don't know, went to a smaller Division I school. You just kind of got that Hoosiers in me. I can't help it. I'm for that. I'm for the picket fence and the last second shot. I just am.
There's a whole movie about it or something.
Amanda, Google search Hoosiers and watch it, please.
No, I'm just kidding. Of course I've seen it. Okay, we had some great fan questions for you, so I want to get to as many as we can. So, Tav would like to know, what Pac-12 women's teams do you think will make the NCAA tournament?
Wow, I think these final 2 games could be a determining factor of maybe one more team getting in. Everybody's predicting 6 teams, and I'm believing that the top 6 are good to go, probably no matter what happens. I think UCLA is going to make a push this weekend, and I know it's a tough one. The Utes in Colorado are down in Southern California to finish up. The Utes have had a string of just some tough luck as of late. So for me, they're going to have to do something in the Pac-12 tournament. They're going to have to make a push and a run there, maybe even win it for that matter at this point, just from an RPI standpoint. But I would like to say that 7 teams are going to make it in. Those are your 2 Oregon schools. That's Stanford. I'm going to put UCLA in there as well. They're on a roll. They're playing, and it's sometimes when you get to this point, as you know, it's all about putting it together at the right time. And this is a group that has some key seniors and balanced scoring. You just don't know who's going to step up for them every game. So I'm throwing them in there too. I'm hoping for 7 this year.
All righty. We'll see. You heard it here first. Krista Blunk says 7 teams. Timbershi says, what is something that has helped you be more conversational while calling/working games?
Well, fabulous cohorts. I mean, my coworkers, I've been incredibly lucky as an analyst to have had some remarkable and gracious play-by-plays. For the most part. Most really fabulous, really just can't say enough about them. And because of that, becoming a play-by-play, I think it maybe starting as an analyst has helped me become more conversational as a play-by-play. But I also know that I know how I felt as an analyst, and I hope that I try to treat my analysts the same way. I try not to cut them off. I try not to stifle them if I can. I want to include them, and I just have kind of always been trained to. You go through some training, and they want your bosses want it to be conversational. They want you to, chat together. And I just think some of it's being unselfish, making sure that even if you both aren't there at the practice or on the coach call, that you say, when coach chatted with us, or when we were at practice, or whatever, that you include the other because you're a team. And so maybe it's because I played a team sport too. I don't know, but I'd say those are some of the reasons why I just think it's more fun too. I don't want to sit there and just be on my own island. I mean, I want to have a good time, you know?
Otherwise, you're just like talking to yourself, right? You're like, hello.
Yeah. Sometimes I do that, but you know, I try not to if someone's sitting right there with me. So
Mick Maley, sorry if I slaughtered that, would like to know, what is the best campus in the Pac-12?
Ooh, best campus. Well, I think this here I am breaking it down, but there's a lot of different reasons for the different campuses, right? So there's certain reasons to love them all. If you're going to go for, fans and just those diehard fans, I think you have to go to some of the maybe smaller city campuses. So you're looking at Corvallis for Oregon State. You're looking at Eugene. They are coming into their houses and they are rocking the place for their fans. I got to give a shout out to Arizona. Tucson fans are really, really good too. And I mean every sport across the board. The Tucson fans, they bring it. And I give all fans so much credit because I don't know about you, but everything's on TV now. I'm so spoiled. I'm probably not going to go out in the rain, the snow, the heat unless I absolutely have to. So I know I'm the worst fan, thankfully.
No. You're a modern day fan.
I'm just kind of I love that feel and that vibe, and I mean the campuses are all really, really beautiful. I don't want to take away from any of them. I lived in the Bay Area forever, and so I was a Stanford season ticket holder when I first moved to the West Coast, and Stanford fans, they bring it as well, and some of the little venues. But right now, I think the love is up in the Oregon schools, and I think Tucson's bringing it too.
People got to understand technical difficulties.
It's technology. It's just like TV, Amanda. It's amazing. I always say, how did we even get on the air? Honestly, it's like you're like one cable away from never being on. So it's we have some amazing people that know how to do that.
So I just hung up on Krista. She kept trying to call me back.
Okay. You can't get rid of me, Amanda.
So we only have one more question.
All right.
So final question. Steph Mards says, what has been a rewarding part of your job?
Oh my goodness. How much time do we have? There's so many.
As much time as you want.
Rewarding. Oh boy, I tell you, I think, there's so many. I don't even know where to start. I think part of it is just, I have to say, I think the most rewarding is being able to just maybe affect or touch other students out there, other people out there, the ability to show people something that maybe they would never get a chance to see or be a part of. I used to work for a WNBA team, Sacramento's WNBA team, and when you work for one team, you kind of build a love for them. I know you're working for the Jazz now, so kind of start to lean that direction. You can't help it. For the Pac-12, I love them all. I love all 12 of them, and really do. You just want success. I want success for them. And so I think that's really, really rewarding. Is I'm being part of a team and being able to share moments that fans and people maybe that don't work in the business don't get the opportunity to see or be a part of. But other than that, just personally, I think just the fact that I'm still working in this business, it's so rewarding to know that I didn't go to a major broadcast school. I went to, a small D1 school. I'm not an Olympian with a gold medal. I've just been, just hounded people and just worked hard to get those names and figure out, how to chip away at being part of it. And so that is very rewarding for me to know that, I've still been able to work and do something that I really love. And believe, as you know, probably too, and in this business, there's moments where you think, maybe I should just go get a real job, or maybe I made this a real job. And I'm so glad that I stuck with it. And you kind of dip back into, okay, I'm just going to go do this, get a little more stability, get a little more job security, whatever. And then you kind of sit there going, what am I doing? Why am I doing this again? And so there's something that just keeps pulling you back out into doing this. And so that's all very rewarding. It's just being parts of the events and in the arena and seeing fans and connecting with fans and pink games, just you name it, just being right there and being part of it. You do start to feel like you're really part of their team and who they are.
Well, I love watching you. I love listening to you. And it's been so special to get to know you. So thank you for making time for me today.
And one of my a very rewarding moment was just being able to connect with you. I was not calling a game. It was Stanford in town at Utah, and I'm in a hotel. I'm out of town. And I've got my iPad on, and I just Tyson just keeps saying Amanda, and sadly I didn't know who Amanda was. But
Who's that?
Who's this Amanda? And so I thought she's very knowledgeable. She knows what she's talking about. I like her style, and so I'm messaging trying to figure out who Amanda is. And then there you were one day popping over. So I appreciate your initiative to even come over and say hey and introduce yourself. So here we are. But that's rewarding too, to kind of see this next wave of just remarkable, both men and women, but I'm probably leaning towards the young women that are there making their way in this crazy biz, and I can't wait to see all the crazy fun you're going to be having. But what's ahead, so that's fun to watch too.
I'm gonna go cry. Thank you.
I really mean it. It was really, I thought you were doing a fabulous job, and so I just wanted to know. And I know you were hit with some injuries, you said, early in your career, and you just weren't able to continue to play. So how great that you get to kind of stay with it, and that's exactly why I was able to, wanted to do it too, to kind of stay connected without having to be on crutches. It's always, it's a lot more fun.
I know. My doctor, I think he's upset that I no longer pay for his vehicles and vacation home, but
yes, he's had a wonderful life. Thank you. Yeah, I understand.
He's fine. But thank you so much for saying that, because that really means a lot coming from you.
Well, you're welcome. I do mean it. I do mean it.
Thank you so much again for making time for me today. It was so fun to get to talk with you, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, Amanda, anytime, and I mean it. And I love that you're doing this. So thank you. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for having me on. And I can't wait to hit Vegas. We're going to see each other in Vegas. So that's going to be a blast. All right.
I'm so excited. All right, guys. For Krista Blunk, I'm Amanda Smith. We'll see you next time.